2 o'clock right now. Okay, everyone, welcome to this NINZA presentation of ATR threshold. Sorry about that. We're going to get to this in a minute. I should really have muted that sound. In any case, if you don't know who I am, my name is James Buchman. I've been trading for about 18 years now. I have my own Discord community where I provide levels for 6 futures markets, and partnered up with ninza about 3 years ago because they have quality products. And yeah, I've been working with them ever since. And for today, we have ATR threshold. There is going to be a gift at the end of this, so stay tuned. First of all, let's discuss what this presentation is going to be all about. So, as we know, probably the most important thing that traders focus on is entries. However, entries are not really the most important aspect of trading. There are, of course, many things, including psychology, but for the sake of this presentation, it's really where are your stops and where are your targets. Before even entering a trade, you need to know where is your stop and where is your target. Now, most people have a fixed number of ticks for a stop and a target, and not that there is something really wrong with it. However, it does not take into account what the market has to offer. In other words, if the market is really in a tight range, you cannot expect your target to be too far away. If the market is really swinging, really moving, maybe your target would be a bit too close in this scenario. Same with stops. Your stop might be too close or too far, depending on what the market is doing. So to solve this problem, what ninza did was it created this indicator called ATR threshold. And what it does is it automatically moves stops and targets as soon as you enter a trade, depending on your settings. What is it that you are looking for? 2 times ATR, 3 times ATR, 4 times, whatever you choose in the settings, it will determine where the stop and target should be based on ATR, based on volatility, which is the average true range. It can do it at a click of a button, so it's really quick, which of course is what we need. When we trade, we will get to a live chart, and I'm going to be demonstrating how this whole thing works. So we're just kind of looking through, right? So it sets it automatically. Your stops and your targets will be set automatically, and you determine as far as what ATR multiple you are looking for. Of course, some of us are just going for a quick scalp, so it would be a lower number. Some of us maybe want to see a bigger move, so it would be a different ATR multiplier. But it does everything for you. That's the convenience of ATR threshold. Boy, the market is moving. All of a sudden, they're really selling off. So what we're going to do is we're going to be looking at it in how about in real time? As you know, I'm a big fan of live charts. So let me just 1 minute here. Let me bring this here, and then I'll need to share, so give me 1 second. Share this, and perfect. Okay, so let me describe what we are seeing here. So, as you know, you might not know, depending how long you've been watching me here, one of my favorite ninza indicator systems is the RK system Platinum. I happen to think it's a pretty amazing creation. It talks to you, of course. I can disable it. I just forgot to do that. You can disable it in settings. Every time it generates a signal, it it talks to you, which is just awesome. But in any case, if you know, I always prefer the first signal in a given direction, right? So if we kind of go back, first signal in a given direction, right? Here is for the long side, and we just had one for the short side. Now, what I did not know, what I did not know, and what I discovered as I was getting ready for this webinar actually, is that Captain Optimus has a way of identifying and trading only the first signal in a direction. To me, it was very exciting. You might not be as excited about it, but to me, it's pretty cool that it could take only the first signal, which is what I want, only the first signal in a direction, and then trade it in full automation as long as I enable it. Right now, it's disabled, but if I enable it like this, and you know it's enabled when you see this, ignore this. I was just playing around with this as I was getting ready for the webinar. This is a sim account, just so we know. But in any case, yeah. So once you enable it, it would trade only this signal in full automation, which is pretty cool. Pretty cool. The way I did this, by the way, let me show you how I did that. Okay, so of course it opens up the window in a different window here. Let me hold on. Where is it? Here we go. So with Captain Optimus, once you identify what you want to copy, so RK System Platinum in this case, you go down here and you pick this one here. And this one here would only then pick that first signal in a direction with RK System Platinum. So pretty cool. Pretty cool. Now, here is what's going to happen. So once it identifies a signal, Captain Optimus would trade it, and then ATR-TradeShield would adjust the targets and the stops based on volatility, not based on my ATM. It would just automatically do it based on volatility. Again, pretty cool. So that's going to see. So it doesn't look like we have any signal here. So what we're going to do, I'm just going to quickly demonstrate. Now, obviously, Captain Optimus is not going to be taking any trade here because, well, I would need the first long signal, which doesn't look like you're going to get, but just in case, I will put enable the long side here, because that will be the next signal we will see, which should be the first one. Boy, they're really selling off. But for example, let's say I want to go counter trend. Let's say I want to buy, right? So I'm gonna do this manually, just for demonstration purposes. Hopefully it works. Okay, so I'm going to buy, and ATR-TradeShield immediately determines the targets and the stop based on volatility. And I can change that. For example, let's say I want to make my target further away. With one click of a button and press 3, and it pushes it up, right? It pushes it up, and now my target is further away. I can also bring it back closer, and with one click of a button, it brings it closer. So your targets and your stops become much more dynamic. You have full control over them. Looks like the counter trend worked out. Looks like,
Sell signal 1.
of course, I don't recommend you do this, but you see how also the stop, now the stop moved not because of my ATR, not because of my ATM, but because of the ATR, this ATR-TradeShield would move the stop up, because it's always relative to real-time price. So not where I took the trade, but relative to real-time price, it would move this stop. You want to try again? Let's go again. Let's go again. Let's see. Let's say again, I want to go long. Okay, here we go. We have the target, we have the stop, and I can push the target further out. Here I am pushing the stop further out. And this is completely adjustable. You decide this in the settings. You would decide each one, 1, 2, and 3, what kind of ATR multipliers they're going to be. So of course, and you see how the stop moves. Again, the stop moves not because of my ATM, I don't think. I don't think it's because of my ATM, because for real time, the um, the ATR is obviously different as the price moves away from the current price. So that's pretty interesting.
NQ. Sell signal 1.
They keep on selling, keep on selling. Now, you know what I can do just so we can start, because it might be a while before we see an actual trade based on the first signal. Let's try something. Let's try something here. What if I set this to the other one, this one, and I think now it would take every signal if I'm not mistaken. So I need to reload the chart. Yeah, see, now it's going to be taking error. So let's go. Let's go. Just for demonstration purposes, guys. Don't try to copy this. But you see now how Captain Optimus is identical, not well, almost every, not every signal. So the great thing about RK System Platinum, it has different entries, different criteria for different signals. So I guess what I picked is still not all of them. It's just these particular ones. Let me see. They exist anywhere else? Yeah, so it's definitely more. So we have a better chance at seeing a trade. Now, again, my favorite one is the first one, but let's see if I have both longs and shorts enabled here, right? Both longs and shorts, I believe. Oops, no, okay. Long, short. Okay, both. Now both are enabled. Let's see if we can catch a trade here. So now it's like a fully automated system, because not only would you be able to enter in full automation with Captain Optimus, but then the ATR threshold will determine your stop and your target. Again, based on your settings that you choose for the different ATR multipliers. So let me just.
NQ.
Ah, here we
Sell
go.
signal
It
1.
worked. It worked. Okay. All right. So you see what's going on, right? Good stuff here. Good stuff. Now this is obviously way overdone, this move, but again, just for demonstration purposes, um, I can even, let's say for the next one, I want it to be closer, let's say. Let's say I want my target to be closer for the next one. So let's wait for the next signal. In the meantime, let me see if I can, if there are any questions, can start looking. Okay, so I'm not sure what software you're talking about. I'm sorry, I'm not familiar with every types of trading software, so I can't answer that. Okay, yes, so that's true. I just, yeah, thank you. I can add the lines here. Well, you see so you see how I have the info here disabled. Once we get into a trade, you're going to see it's going to start drawing lines. It's just that I don't like to see so many lines on my chart. It bothers me. So I have this part disabled, but once we get into a trade, you're going to see it's going to start drawing lines. And this is your preference, obviously. I just don't like seeing so many lines on my charts. Uh, can you use it with markers or bloodhound? Again, I don't know. I don't know. But why would you need to, I guess? Because it would do everything for you. Um, RK system. I did not change any settings. I changed no settings in the RK system Platinum. This is out of the box as is, no change of settings. Just just waiting for a signal so I can demonstrate some. Look, I'm going to keep looking at some more questions, guys, while this is looking for a trade. Uh, okay. No. All right. So far, I think I got it. Let me just hold on. Do these values at ATR threshold? Yes, it would adjust dynamically based on ATR and current price. So you saw how the stop moved as price was going toward the target, right? It will adjust dynamically. That is correct. Boy, it's been so one directional here. I just I want to see some kind of a move the other way. Wow. What did Trump say now? I'm sure it's something he said. I just I just know. Wow, look at that. Damn. Yeah, well, RK system will be looking for a pullback. We'll be looking for a pullback. This is pretty crazy. Talking about your overextended move, huh? All right, let's see. We might even get a long signal. Wouldn't that be nice? But yeah, RK System Platinum, one of my favorites. One of my favorites. I can also trade it on a 15-second chart. It's very flexible. It doesn't have to be necessarily a Renko bar. Oh, I thought you might get a signal there. I guess not. That's a shame. Sorry, guys. Just waiting for a setup here. Let's see if RK System is not going to give me a signal, I'm going to just take a signal. uh, okay, these are the lines, right? So if you enable the info, it will draw these lines for you, and then you can adjust, right? So let's say 3 or 2 or 1. So you would adjust it based on that. And isn't it nice how the stop moves?
I've got a thing I'm listening to, but they're probably recording it.
Okay, so someone has a mic on. If you can just please shut your mic off. I thought they took care of that. Maybe not. Hey, target filled. So now I'm expecting an RK system long, actually. It needs a pullback, but there should be an RK system long after a pullback, and it should be the first signal. So, oh, but now I disabled the first signal, didn't I? I did, because I picked those other ones. Ah, all right, okay, all right. Um, let's see if we can get a signal. course, now they're going completely the other way without any pullback. That's great. Yeah, so the reason this ATR threshold is so valuable because it's in a way of it basically creates the ATM for you in a sense that it places those targets and those stops where they should be, not just some arbitrary number of ticks.
NQ by signal 1.
So this is the first signal in the direction I was talking about. There we go. That's why they're so good. Those first signal guys, if you have if you have Arcade System Platinum, telling you those first signals are killers, absolute killers. They're just I mean the subsequent are also could be fine, but those first ones, I mean, talk about your high probability. And I know this is not an Arcade System webinar. I know that, but just this is really good. So you see how once if I had this continued enable in Captain Optimus, it would take it automatically, but I changed it to the more common signals, the subsequent signals, because we had such a directional move down, there wasn't any pullback to the bullish, but now it took it. So I think we should get some subsequent signals, which we should see, and then it should take it in full automation. So let's wait for that. Oh no, I really thought you were gonna get one. I think it needs it a bit deeper maybe. Look at that. Ah, but you see what I mean? This first one, it's just those first ones are good. Let's see. Let's wait. I'm sure we're gonna get another signal here. In the meantime, let me look more questions. Okay, please show how to configure the initial ATM. Well, to me, it's just this. I mean, I just picked an ATM here that I have, but again, I'm just no expert, but from what I understand, it does it by itself.
NQ by signal 2.
Oh, still not the one that I picked, I guess. That's a shame. All right, gonna have to wait. So in other words, it doesn't. I mean, let's see. I'm going to try and change the ATM, and let's see if it makes any difference. So let's say I'm changing the ATM. It doesn't matter. No, it will still go by the ATR. So your ATM becomes the ATR, right? Your ATM becomes the ATR. And again, you can move this around. Let's pick one. And then you get these lines if you want. For me, I disable the lines. I just don't want to see them. But if you want to, you could. Look, yeah, I'm telling you, just can't go wrong with this stuff. It's I'm trying to take a losing trade. I can't. All right, let's see. Yeah. Okay, yeah, guys. Any questions? You can just please pose them. I mean, I just got this a few days ago, to be honest. I didn't have so much time to really work with it. I just pretty much worked with it this morning um, after I was done with my group. Uh, it's pretty much so straightforward, it seems. You pick your ATR multiple, whatever you want it to be. You have three different things that you can pick, and it will just multiply the ATR by how many times you want. So you can have targets that are very close. You can have targets that are further away. You can also have more than one. So you can have, let me see, I should have something here. Hold on. So maybe something with more than one. So let's say I pick this. So this is more than one. Yeah, so this is now three targets. And it will place all three. Just don't want to miss the Archy system signal. And then what happens if, just see here. I just don't want to miss the Archy system signal. So let's close this. I much rather wait for signal from Archy system. Now, as far as the indicator itself, okay, something is going on with my Zoom, guys. Sorry, 1 second. Right, so you get to choose everything here. So I did not play with any of these settings, but these are just all the possibilities that you have. You have your stops, you have your targets, you get to determine the ATR, like everything. All the settings are here. I did not touch anything. I just, as is, that's how I have it. Okay, so I'm just waiting for signal before. Couldn't get a long signal before. Now they're rallying and I can't get it. But really, how about that first signal from okay system, right? All the way here. Goodness.
NQ by signal 4.
It's again identifying it. So which signals is it looking for then? So these. Okay, I see. All right. I see. And again, this is not an Archy system presentation, but uh, these other signals are just too deep into the move, which is why I prefer the first one. Just wanted to take one in full automation. I'm just not getting these signals. Let's give them a few more minutes. Yeah. All right, let me see if there are any more questions. We're going to get to the slideshow again in a minute, everyone. You need three different stop losses and targets in the ATM, but I only had one and it worked. I'm not sure if that's true. See, see if I'm going to press just one, even with just one, it looks like it works.
Target filled.
Yeah. Okay, I'm just waiting for one signal for Captain Optimus to take here. Not going to, is it? Uh, that's live trading for you. Just trying to think how deep would they need to go on a pullback. Oh, just okay. Well, that was quick. That was quick. Oh, I think it was I pressed something. I'm sorry about this, guys. I pressed this. That was me. This last one, that was me. Let me get out of this one. But this one was, boy, you couldn't blink on this one. Uh, Captain Optimus grabbed it and immediately target was filled. Real quick jump. For this one, you would definitely need Captain Optimus to get you in. That was quick. Boy, it was fun. Okay. All right. So, well, at least we got one here um, to show both of these tools working together, even though it wasn't a millisecond, but it did work. So, boy, that's good signal. Good signal. Again, not as good as the first one, right? Not as good as the first one, but pretty darn good signal. Okay. All right, let's quickly get back to the slideshow. Let me find it. Okay. Well, so this is everything. So they use the Sumo pullback. It looks like this one. I just prefer Arcade System Platinum. Okay, so you get to choose between ATR and NINZA ATR modes. Okay, so this is all the stuff available in the settings. Again, I did not change anything in the settings, so it displays the ATR. Of course, we saw the ATR lines. There was a gift. You want the gift now? Okay, how about look at the gift now? Where's the gift? Where is the gift? Gift. Tria reversals. That's cute. Yeah, so this is the gift. I'm trying to think if I ever traded this one. I don't think I did. Um, this, I guess, has to do with the candlestick pattern for reversal. Interesting. Hey, it's a gift. Take it. Yeah. But let's get to this. Okay, so these are the prices.
NQ. Sell signal 1.
Now it's selling again. Okay, so the ATR threshold is 336. Captain Optimus, great tool, and ATR together 946. That's not bad. Breakout Hunter. So I did not feature Breakout Hunter. Yeah, I didn't even. I did not get the slideshow until this morning, so I guess I would have looked at the Breakout Hunter, but I would still prefer the Arcade System Platinum. Um, just just a terrific system, really is. So that's that. Let me look. How do you get the free gift? Excellent question. How do you get the free gift? Uh, Contact NINZA support. I'm not really sure. I don't think they list anywhere here.
NQ. Buy signal 1.
I mean, obviously, the Captain Optimus and the ATR threshold would work with any of their indicators. It's just that I wasn't aware of the breakout. I was really working with Arcade System Platinum. Yes, so if anyone here is from NINZACO, could you type how they would get the gift? Because I don't know how they would get the gift. But you can always contact their support. They will respond. Oh, Alan, thank you. So Alan in the chat put a link to description of ATR threshold. You can look at Grace's write-up right over there. Appreciate that. Okay, I'm just looking through.
NQ. Buy signal 1.
Okay, yeah, I don't see any more questions. Am I going to catch it? So this one just came out. I don't know. I just figured maybe you guys want to see it. So this is not the first signal, right? Again, the first signal is the best. First signal is the best. This is a subsequent. These are the lines, which I kind of hide mine. As I said, I disable the lines. I just don't want to see them.
NQ. Buy signal 2.
EMA signal, maybe, I don't know. I just picked whatever other signal other than the first one. Just because I wanted to see, because there are more of them. And obviously there was only one first signal, so I was hoping to catch some trades. And again, you can move these around. You can move your stop closer. You can move it further out. You can get your target closer.
NQ. Buy signal 2.
And after this, we're going to finish up. I'm going to show you the offer again, and then we'll finish up. Just want to see how this trade concludes. All of a sudden, they slow down. Right, yeah, so that's why I had it. Originally, I had it on that PA signal, which got the first one, which is my favorite. And then for the sake of demonstration, because it wasn't, we're just sliding down, I changed it. Maybe shouldn't have done that. Okay, so it stopped me out on this one. Again, the first one would have been fine. First one would have been fine. It's the subsequent that presents an issue. And now we're selling off again. Okay, but anyway, let's quickly get back to the slide, the offer. Here it is. And yeah, unless there are any more questions, we're going to finish up here. I don't see any more questions. All right.
NQ. Sell signal 1.
So if there are no more questions, well, then I'm going to thank you for joining us today for this presentation of ATR threshold. Just double checking one last thing. Free gift. Yeah, free gift. Free gift. I showed it. I just don't know how you would get it. So this is the gift, the trio reversal. As far as how to get it, I guess contact support, NINZA support. If you want to get in touch with me, there was a question about my Discord group. Just email me. It's the best way. Email me algodaytrading@yahoo.com, and I'll send you the link. Yeah, just going over everything. Okay. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today. Email me with any questions that I can answer, not about indicators, because I don't know anything about tech stuff. So don't ask me anything about that. But anything else, email me. See you guys next time. Thank you.